Emily St. John Mandel's Station 11, 2014, is a profoundly moving and intricately structured post-apocalyptic novel that examines civilization's fragility, art's endurance, and the interconnection of human lives across time. Rather than focusing on the violence and chaos typical of dystopian fiction, Mandel's narrative meditates on memory, loss, and the redemptive power of creativity. Through its nonlinear structure and multiple interwoven perspectives, Station 11 invites readers to reflect on what it means to survive, not merely in a physical sense, but culturally and spiritually as well. 1. Overview of the plot. The novel begins on the night when the world begins to collapse. During a performance of King Lear in Toronto, the famous actor Arthur Leander suffers a fatal heart attack on stage. Among those present are Jeevan Chaudhary, a former paparazzo turned paramedic in training who rushes to help him, and a young child actor named Kirsten Raymond who witnesses Arthur's death. Unbeknownst to the audience, a virulent strain of swine flu, known as the Georgia flu, is spreading rapidly across the globe. Within days, civilization collapses as millions die, electricity fails, and social order disintegrates. 20 years later, Kirsten has become a member of the Traveling Symphony, a troupe of actors and musicians who wander through the scattered settlements of the post-pandemic Great Lakes region, performing Shakespeare and classical music. Their motto, painted on their caravan, "Survival is insufficient," encapsulates the novel's core philosophy. Even in a ruined world, art and beauty remain essential to human life. The narrative alternates between pre-collapse and post-collapse timelines, weaving together the stories of Arthur Leander and those connected to him, his ex-wives Miranda and Elizabeth, his best friend Clark, and Jeevan. These interlocking narratives form a web of human connection that transcends time, geography, and catastrophe. 2. Themes of civilization and memory. One of the central themes of Station 11 is the fragility of civilization and the persistence of memory. The pandemic acts as a mirror, reflecting how dependent modern society is on technology, infrastructure, and communication systems. Mandel portrays the abrupt loss of electricity, medicine, and the internet as more than material deprivation. It represents the disappearance of shared memory and collective identity. Kirsten's obsessive collection of artifacts, magazines, clippings about Arthur Leander, and the graphic novel Station 11 demonstrates a desperate attempt to preserve fragments of the old world. The comic book, created by Arthur's ex-wife Miranda, serves as a symbolic bridge between eras. It tells the story of a space station called Station 11, adrift among the stars, whose inhabitants struggle to retain meaning after leaving Earth. This fictional world within the novel mirrors the survivor's own condition, suspended between nostalgia and renewal. Mandel's use of memory is deeply lyrical. Her characters often dwell on small sensory details, a glass tower, a snow globe, the glow of an iPhone screen, as if these fragments could summon back a vanished world. In this sense, Station 11 becomes not merely a tale of apocalypse, but a eulogy for modernity and its illusions of permanence. 3. Art as survival. The motto, "Survival is insufficient," borrowed from Star Trek Voyager, underscores the novel's conviction that survival alone cannot sustain the human spirit. The Traveling Symphony's decision to perform Shakespeare, works that have themselves survived centuries of upheaval, becomes an act of resistance against oblivion. In performing A Midsummer Night's Dream or King Lear, the troupe reaffirms the continuity of human imagination across time. Mandel uses art as a form of spiritual continuity. Even after the collapse, art connects individuals to something larger than themselves, to history, to community, and to meaning. The symphony's performances give shape to the scattered, traumatized communities they encounter, reminding them that beauty and storytelling are vital forms of nourishment. Similarly, Miranda's creation of the Station 11 comic represents art as personal salvation. Living a lonely, alienated life in the corporate world, she pours her inner life into a project that will outlast her. Long after her death in the pandemic, her comic survives, influencing Kirsten and linking two women who never met. Art, in Mandel's vision, transcends death, time, and destruction. 4. Interconnectedness and Fate. Station 11 explores how lives intertwine through coincidence and fate. Arthur Leander's life touches nearly every major character. He mentors Kirsten, befriends Clark, marries Miranda and Elizabeth, and indirectly shapes the world that follows. Even Jeevan, a marginal figure in Arthur's final moments, becomes a vital survivor in the New World. Mandel's narrative structure, moving fluidly across decades and continents, mimics the intricate network of human connection. Each thread eventually converges, revealing hidden patterns of cause and effect. For example, the comic book's journey from Miranda's hands to Kirsten's decades later symbolizes the persistence of meaning through seemingly random chains of transmission. In a world where technology and global systems have collapsed, the novel suggests that true connection arises not from digital networks, but from memory, empathy, and storytelling. The collapse, paradoxically, strips away the distractions of modern life and exposes what truly binds humanity together. The post-apocalyptic world as mirror of the present. Unlike many post-apocalyptic novels, Station 11 does not revel in violence or moral decay. Mandel's tone is elegiac rather than sensational. She is less interested in the logistics of survival than in the psychological and philosophical consequences of loss. Her post-collapse society is not defined by brutality, but by yearning, a longing for music, art, and community. Mandel portrays the pre-collapse world as spiritually empty, despite its abundance. Arthur's Hollywood fame, Miranda's corporate success, and Jeevan's obsession with celebrity gossip all suggest a culture addicted to illusion and distraction. In this sense, the pandemic acts as both catastrophe and cleansing, stripping away the excess to reveal what is essential. The novel's quiet irony lies in the idea that the survivors, though materially impoverished, may possess a deeper sense of purpose and wonder than their predecessors. Number 6. Religion, Myth, and the Prophet. Religion also plays a significant role in the post-collapse world. The traveling symphony encounters a cult led by a self-proclaimed prophet who believes that the pandemic was divine judgment and that all survivors are chosen. His violent fanaticism contrasts sharply with the symphony's humanistic values. The prophet's use of apocalyptic rhetoric illustrates how, in times of crisis, art and religion can both serve as vehicles for meaning, but also as instruments of control. Through this conflict, Mandel examines the dual capacity of belief systems. They can either bind communities through shared imagination or divide them through coercion. The prophet's downfall ultimately reinforces the novel's faith in art's gentle, unifying power over ideology's destructive zeal. Number 7. Time, Loss, and the Persistence of Hope. Time functions as both theme and structure in Station 11. The narrative's oscillation between past and future emphasizes the continuity of human experience. Even as the old world perishes, echoes of it endure, in memories, in language, in the stories people tell. Mandel frequently juxtaposes scenes from before and after the collapse to highlight the fragile threads connecting them. Despite its elegiac tone, the novel ultimately ends on a note of hope. In the final chapters, Clark's community at the Severn City Airport discovers evidence that electricity might be returning somewhere far away. The possibility of a rekindled light, literal and metaphorical, signals that civilization may one day be rebuilt. Humanity's defining quality, Mandel suggests, is not its technology but its imagination, its capacity to dream even amid ruins. Style and structure. Mandel's prose is graceful, restrained, and luminous. She avoids melodrama, opting instead for a lyrical realism that captures both the beauty and terror of her imagined world. Her nonlinear structure allows the reader to experience time as a mosaic rather than a straight line, reflecting how memory operates in fragments. The novel's intricate architecture, interlacing storylines that converge subtly, gives it a symphonic quality. Just as the traveling symphony blends disparate instruments into harmony, Mandel fuses multiple perspectives into a coherent meditation on loss and continuity. Hashtag 9. Philosophical Dimensions. Philosophically, Station 11 questions what constitutes civilization. Is it infrastructure, technology, or the human capacity for meaning-making? Mandel's answer is clear. Civilization resides in art, empathy, and memory. The collapse strips away the superficial layers of progress to reveal the essence of humanity, its need to tell stories, to connect, to remember. The novel also engages with existential questions about mortality and legacy. Arthur's fame, once so dazzling, becomes meaningless after the collapse, while Miranda's obscure comic becomes a sacred text. Through this inversion, Mandel challenges conventional notions of success and immortality. 10. Conclusion. Emily Saint. John Mandel's Station 11 stands as one of the most poetic and humane works of 21st century speculative fiction. It transforms the apocalyptic genre into a meditation on art, time, and the resilience of the human spirit. Far from depicting the end of the world as pure despair, Mandel envisions it as a landscape where beauty persists, where a Shakespearean line or a hand-drawn comic can bridge centuries. Ultimately, Station 11 reminds readers that civilization is not merely a collection of technologies or institutions, but a fragile tapestry of stories, performances, and shared dreams. Even when everything else collapses, the human impulse to create, to remember, and to hope ensures that something endures. In a world haunted by loss, Mandel's vision offers solace. Survival may be insufficient, but art, imagination, and connection are what make survival worthwhile.